Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are coming at you with Hospital Podcast episode number 378. So much new music. Out today is the entire soundtrack of original music created for the Microsoft racing game Forza Horizon 4. There's a Hospital Radio channel on there which you have to unlock, featuring Chris the Goose Goss and myself. I'm going to play you a few cuts from that album along with brand new music from Unglued, from Whiney, from loads of different artists, but from the Forza Horizon soundtrack, which is out on Hospital Records. Glow in the Dark vinyl. This is Fred V and Grafix. My name is Tony Coleman and some people call me London Electricity. Massive shout out to Dexter, who's reorganised the acoustics in the Not studio so that it sounds a lot better. I've got to give a shout out to Fred for his guitar playing. He is a very, very nifty guitar player. And I came to school today wearing my brand new Hospital Records rucksack. Check them out on the Hospital shop, they are just in. Absolutely beautiful blue, amazing lining inside. It will hold almost anything you try and stuff in there. We did try Dexter's cat, but yeah, there's two people in real hospital at the moment as a result of that. But you have to go there sometimes.
Whiney, Hugh, Hardie, Truthos, Mufasa, Levels, Med School.
Brand new music, forthcoming from Whiney.
You get what you're given, take it or leave it, I'm smitten. Holding me back, breaking my back, breaking me down, out in the cold mountains of ash. I wonder if the skin will bleed when I pierce it. I plunder into city seas without fearing. Waves smashing off the broken bow of the boat. Engine pissing out a shower of smoke. My power is low, an hour of hope, followed by the sourest choke. No longer a solid safety net surrounding my soul. These are deep waters, unknowns in the abyss. So I drink more drink and I piff more piff. It's a dismal mix to get that fix all fixed. When something is this broken, it gets stripped and tipped. In this realm of division, there are ghosts in the streets. When I look up in the mirror, they're all closer to me. Am I them or are they me? I'm tempted to say peace.
Demon, demon, triple Duppy, demon, demon,
Triple Duppy Demon,
demon, demon,
featuring Hugh, Hardie and Truthos, Mufasa.
And the holy host, demon, triple Duppy, demon, demon.
The new Whiney album is called Waystone. It's not out until the 30th of November, so this is a proper exclusive for you. Podcast listeners, ahoy.
Chatting witches up until the hands are missing. Mysticism winning in the middle of a minute. That was written as a paradox by timeline critics. Women wonder why men never give their time back. Men are stuck in bundles of their own misalignment. Trouble is, nothing really matters once you find it. The ice pick, the knife tip, the reason we are psychic. Cycling around oversized blank signposts, missing all the messages hidden in the line, Joe. Life's like a box if you let paper define you. When signing dotted lines, you disregard your life's assignment. Right then, we're only briefly here, but when minutes turn to hours, then to weeks, then turn to years. The essence of life is to live it how you please. But I died years ago, so let the Duppy breathe.
Now, if you want to indulge in some proper hospital Christmas festivities, I know you don't even want to think about Christmas right now because it's still sunny, right? But if you don't think about it now, you're going to miss out.
Letting me in, letting me in. Look at him letting me in, devilish king. Look at the size of my thing, look at my eyes and my wings dribbling in. Wishing it wasn't a thing, but it isn't. I'm whipping again. BDSM in the back of my den and the centipede is now
because
yes, I now accept myself. If I stop, then one should surely wreck thyself. My whiskers grow to show the gaps that I fit in, but I keep shaving them off, so it's back to the beginning. Demonic rhetoric in every one of my messages, not helpful to the masses, but I'm finding where my exit is. Soon
we are heading back to Studio 338 for our first barbecue in years and years and years. It's where the barbecues first started. This is going to be a Christmas barbecue, and I don't think we're going to do barbecue turkey, although we might. But I can imagine, I don't know, in my mind I can see a kind of plethora of like kind of versed, you know, like sausage stalls and loads of mulled wine, mulled Whiney. There is going to be mulled Whiney, isn't there? Tell me. And it's happening on the 15th of December at Studio 338. First release tickets are already sold out. It has wings, just like an angel. It is flying, so you must make sure that you be quick, or else you will be left there like a sad little child with no presents on Christmas morning. And talking of Christmas presents, if you've got an Xbox, and we are not sponsored by Xbox or Microsoft, but if you do happen to have one, you could do worse than get yourself a copy of Forza Horizon 4. Or even better, just buy the soundtrack from us. Because it glows in the dark. It's green glow in the dark vinyl. Come on. And it's out today. Anyway, from that venerable album, this is Bop and Subwave. Proving to be a Q4 banger. City Lights. And it was my absolute pleasure to play a set at Hospitality at Paradiso in Amsterdam on Thursday at ADE. I'd say 66.1% of my set was made up of tunes from Forza Horizon 4. Just purely out of a sense of taste and love. Because they are veritable bangers. And while we are talking all things festive, let's think about the summer. Let's think about July. Let's think about Hospitality on the Beach, edition 2, July. the 11th to the 15th of July. Go to hospitalityonthebeach.com. Pre-sale tickets are now available exclusively to those who have signed up. The general release goes live this Monday, 29th of October at 11 a.m. Now, I was at my computer upstairs in the office earlier this morning, and I just had a look to see if flights were available already that week to go to Croatia, and they are. Flights to Split. And they're rather cheap at the moment. I think the best combo for that week that I found was £129 return. Anyway, head over to the website for details. I do not want you to miss out because it was absolutely magical. Shout in from Alex Nelligan, who says, Tony, huge shout out to you and the hospitality team for an incredible day at Hospitality in the Park last Saturday. Can I request a massive shout out to my awesome girlfriend Bronwyn for keeping remarkably calm when me and my brother returned home on Saturday evening absolutely caked in mud and filth. In hindsight, a white t-shirt was definitely a bad idea. Big love. It was quite exciting, especially when it got dark. The mud, that is. And Hegerton writes in to say, hi Tony, can you please give a shout out to my beautiful girlfriend Sam Mergs, who means the world to me. I'm meeting her parents for the first time this weekend. Oh gosh. I think she's more nervous than me, but fingers crossed it goes okay. We had an amazing time at Hospitality in the Park, which was her first ever drum and bass event. We cannot wait for the Hospitality Christmas cracker. One love to you and all the hospital family. This is a tune called Beneath. It's a collaboration between Hybrid Minds and Inside Information, and it comes out on the Drum and Bass Arena label. For whom I would like to offer a shout for hosting the 2018 Drum and Bass Awards yet again. Actually, that's wrong. There's only ever been one 2018 Drum and Bass Awards and it hasn't happened yet, but you know what I mean. Anyway, we're looking forward to a kind of annual little love up within the industry where we all tell each other how brilliant we are, or how brilliant they are, obviously. Not us, we're not. And the Drum and Bass Awards are traditionally sort of places where you kind of heal wounds, where you sort of deal with beef and kind of like put things to rest and tell everyone it's all good, bro. Right, that bit was inside info, wasn't it? That bit there. That wasn't Hybrid Minds, that sound. That was inside info, definitely. So basically, Inside Info went into Hybrid Minds studio and spiked their tea. I heard the Hybrid Minds piano in there. There it is. It's always interesting when you get a collaboration. It's always good to kind of mentally deconstruct it and try and work out who did what. It's like Dexter and me was saying earlier, what would happen if there was a collaboration between Makoto and Krakota? What would you call it? Would you call it Kramoto or Makratoa? I don't know. Shout going out to Tom Newland, who says, first of all, Tony, thank you again for blessing this world with Hospital Records. and Hospitality in the Park, which was the single best festival that I've been to all summer. Just wondering what track you opened your set with. Cheers. Well, I did open my set with a bootleg by Flight of the soundtrack to Ghost in the Shell, the 1995 edition, the original version of the movie. And it is a good one for a big festival crowd. Big Dan writes in to say, "Hi Tony, can I get a shout out for the missus and myself in the next podcast, please?" Oh, this guy's a legend. So, Big Dan, right, he was this guy. When I did the signings at the merchandise table, there was a guy there wearing a homemade t-shirt that he'd made using all of the lyrics from Just 1 Second from the Syncopated City album. And it was an amazing shirt. It was a really, really good one. I think he spent weeks on it. Anyway, Dan says, "I was the man in the homemade t-shirt with Just 1 Second on. Meeting you and my hospitality family was an amazing experience, hard to beat, and I've been raving since." The missus wasn't really into drum and bass, but now she loves it. "This used to be a massive barrier between us, but now we are closer than ever. Much love. And thanks again for making our day extra special." You see, I absolutely love that. When you come across someone who doesn't like drum and bass. And then just through sheer kind of like force of will and perseverance, you batter them over the head with it until they're forced to like it. Okay, incoming is something very, very, very special from the Forza Horizon 4 soundtrack by Polaris, who has not one but 2 tracks on the album. This is called Lessons Learned. Big shout going out to Vlad Polaris. He is not the world's most prolific producer because he spends a lot of time on each track. But when they're finished, when he delivers them, they are absolute gems. So we have a very, very, very busy few weeks of shows starting this weekend. On the 26th of October, Spy presents his dubplate style at Studio 333. It is his debut solo show, and it is a Halloween rave. Well, it's not strictly a solo show because he's got some other artists that you may have heard of playing with him, like High Contrast, Lensman, New Tone, Critical Impact, Uncle Doug's, DJ Die, who presents the archives, Fracture, Need for Mirrors, Kyrist, Boo, and a special guest who is Shadow Child presenting a jungle set. The whole lineup is curated by Spy himself. All previous dubplate style parties have sold out in under 30 minutes. So it's the only place to be in London this Halloween. On the 2nd of November, which also happens to be my sister's birthday, we have Jungle Jam in London, back to back with Danny Bird's Atomic Funk album launch party here in London. Now, I had the privilege to attend Danny Bird's album launch in Bath 2 weeks ago, and it was absolutely sick. Danny tore the roof off. He is on fire at the moment. So, in Danny Bird's room, Danny's going to be doing a 2-hour set, which is quite a rare thing, so you want to catch this. Also alongside him playing will be the Brooks Brothers, Molly Collins, Kenny Ken, Unglued, Ramjack, Carousel, Ragga Twins and Texas. The Jungle Jam will feature Congo Natty, Dillinger, Benny Page, Chopstick Dubplate, Remark, Daisy, Jungle Jam DJs, Skibbity and Jakes. It's at E1 in London with the legendary E1 sound system. The only place to catch Danny Bird in London for the rest of this year. Do not sleep. We also have a party on the 26th of October in Bristol this weekend at Motion, which is sold out. We're also doing the Masked Ball in Cornwall this weekend, which is sold out. We've got Hospitality Southampton on the 2nd of November at the Engine Rooms. Cambridge on the 10th of November at the Junction. Cardiff on the 16th of November at Tramshed. And Brighton on the 30th of November, Concord 2. There's more. On the 9th of November, we're in Estonia at the Kulturi Katel. On the 17th of November, we're at the Hospitality Winterthur in Salzhaus in Germany. 14th of December, Roxy Prague. 14th of December, Ampere, Antwerp. 17th of December, Rise Festival in France. 26th of January, Hospitality Heidelberg. And I haven't even started on New Zealand and Australia yet. So I've been working all year on the preparation for my next album, and the powers that be who are putting Forza together asked if I had a tune. So I made a tune for the game. It's called That's a Switch, and it goes a bit like this. So yes, new London Elektricity music. and I kind of feel it might be appropriate. As I wrote this tune for a driving game, to read out a poem by Inja. It's called Motorways and School Fields. He just stuck it on his Instagram, and it actually moved me to tears. It's quite amazing. Here we go. Motorway bopping, music loud, playlist, CD or radio, all loud. I'm smiling. Traffic slow but cool. Sun trying to carve a shape. Let the light shine down. Part the clouds a little. Hills rolling, fields blur, light yellow landscape, slight flavour of rapeseed. Amongst lorry and car fumes, my lane slows. Snails on leaves, I indicate, move to the fast lane. I flash my hazards to say thanks. When I notice the woman behind us is really not impressed. Mouthing words I can't make out, but I can definitely understand the finger. A solid firm appointment of fuck you. Maybe she didn't want to give me the space. Maybe her day's been awful. Maybe she just found out the worst news ever. Or maybe I just pissed her off. Eyes of laser beams burning my scalp. So, when the time comes, I change lanes. I let her past. I feel hatred driving past me. As we become level, I look out the corner of my eye. Rage streaming out of her tear ducts. Mouth non-stop factory machining. I read her lips. You fucking black bastard. I smile back. Offer a thumbs up as she puts her foot down. A puff of smoke drops. She's off. You see, I forget I'm a colour that people aren't keen on sometimes. My first thought is black. There's a bit of a generalisation though, isn't it? If we're ticking census boxes and being PC, then I don't have an exact box. I'm definitely more brown than black, on a actual colour spectrum. But I get it though. I know who I am. I'm proud of that. She needs me to be her version, justifying her action. My smile disappears, fading into cheeks, melting away dimples. It was just a standard motorway manoeuvre. She could have just said rubbish driver, impolitely of course. Reminded me of fear, shaking as I was chased down. Ankles kicked, tripped over, penalty strike, kicks to my stomach, tears held down like a punch bag and hit. 4 words ringing out, 11 years old, school field. The year 11 girls ran over and stopped them and then comforted me. It didn't change my day, it just reminded me that I stand out. I'm different. I didn't choose to be. I'm just me. Massive shout to Inja. If you follow his Instagram, then you will get more amazing poems like that. And yes, I have said that he should write a book. 100%. So yes, that tune that I just talked all over was actually by me. But I'm allowed to talk over my own tunes, aren't I? Okay, we here at Hospital HQ are extremely excited to have the debut album coming up.
Elevation is not detected.
From Mitekiss.
Would you like to go to a human?
It is a bona fide debut classic. The album's called Crate 67. It's out on the 2nd of November. This is called Human. Now, those of you who are currently listening to the podcast, you're either listening to it on your phone from iTunes or from our direct XML download, or maybe on Mixcloud. But what you may not know is that the podcasts are now going up on Spotify. So if you're of a Spotify persuasion, you can subscribe to the podcast there. And I've got to give a shout out to Big Fish Little Fish, who invited me down to Fabric to DJ. It was a lot of fun. I was there with Steve BC and Chris in Perspective. Sadly, the Secretary General couldn't come and celebrate his birthday there because he got the lurgy.
Elevation in heart rate detected.
We're still trying to reorganise a birthday party. Anyway, poor lad was in bed all day. But if you've got little uns, like under 8 years old, 9 years old, it's a good event. It really is. I did try my hardest to get a mosh pit going, just because there are loads of people with kids. So I played loads of Kings of the Rollers, which actually everyone just really enjoyed, especially the dads and mums in the crowd. It was fun. And Matthew Hall says, great to see you at BFLF at Fabric. Sorry your kids couldn't be there. And oh yeah, and he sent a picture of the shirt that he made for his son Hunter, aka H-Bomb, which you can kind of picture in your mind. It's basically an H-Bomb with an H in the middle. Yes, big shout going out to Hunter. And going back to the park, it seems like nearly everyone had very positive experiences, despite the fact that it was slightly muddy towards the end of the day. Luke writes in and says, I'd like to pass on my huge thanks to the security who helped me when my crappy electric wheelchair conked out. They pushed me right up to the top of the hill and to the bus stop, especially when the mud was thick and it was quite hard going. Mega thanks, because basically I was a bit worried about getting home. They saved a possible disaster and they really made the night for me. Big thanks and great support provided by hospitality. Cheers, Luke. And a man whose name is kind of stuck to everyone's lips, except it isn't, because he's called Unglued. But he's definitely man of the moment. He just kind of slides off whenever you try and kind of make him attach to your face. Well, not that I've ever made him try and attach to himself to my face, obviously. You know, I just went down a rabbit hole there. Unglued shaped rabbit hole. He's got an EP out. It's amazing. This is called Tekapo. I know I don't know what Tekapo is, or where it is, or who it is, or how sticky it is, or how smooth it is. And Josh Unglued, obviously, as you now know, did the fastest selling 12-inch that we've ever released, the If We Ever remix. This is debut EP on Hospital Records. And long-time podcast is that right? Podcast inmate, let's say podcast inmate. Colin Liddell says, good morning, Tony. This is Louise. She insisted I represented today to ask you for a mention on your next podcast. We are halfway through her breast cancer treatment, but today is chemo number 5, when the mix gets stepped up a few notches to something a little bit stronger. Yes, we did just use cancer to get a shout. Totally shameless, Colin, but it worked. Oh, and if you could mention Jenny too, I'm sure she'd be gutted if you left her out. Yes, Jenny, shout to you. Shout to all of Colin's family. So, I'll put a picture of Louise and me on the email, add some recent pics from Hospitality in the Park 2018, just to prove it's me. Colin, how could I forget you? Seriously, massive shout, massive love, healing vibes from Hospital Records right here, going out to you right now through the podcast. If I had it here and if I had it queued up, I wouldn't play You're Gonna Get Through This, because I really don't like the tune, but you are going to get through this. Brand new music from Marcus Visionary. This is called Try It. Out on Stereo One Music. That is a wicked tune. if you're at all interested in production, you may be listening to this tune and thinking, ooh, it keeps kind of changing. The way it feels changes. And it is all done with putting the kick drum in a different place. You displace the kick drum and you give it a little swing and a shuffle and change it every 16 or 32 bars. Listen. Just because I said listen to it changing, it's not changing in this section, so there you go. Just rewind the podcast and listen to when it was. Oh, there you go.
Listen, get on your mission. Don't stop moving. No submission.
You know.
Listen,
it's Inja.
Get on your mission.
With Whiney.
Ain't got time for no quitting. Listen, get on your mission. Don't stop moving. No submission.
Another tempting little snippet that I'm dangling in front of you from Waystone by Whiney. It's not out till the end of next month.
That's intuition.
This is called Mission.
Thinking, not my fault, I'm just different. If my belly ain't right, then I'm out of sight. I wanna feel the things that go missing. My admission, more like an addiction. I can't stop twitching till I find this all this enriching. I got time to kill when the mood is right. Otherwise, man's like sound distant. Greetings with no ill wishing. Peace out, bounce my feet itching. Nah, listen, get on your mission. Don't stop moving. No submission. Listen, get on your mission. Don't stop moving. Ain't got time for no quitting. Listen, get on your mission. Don't stop moving. No submission. Listen, get on your mission. Don't stop moving. Ain't got time for no quitting. Easy, don't waste my time, I ain't wasting yours. So much to do, I'm like high and by. I got life to live and are you of course. Take a moment and stop and pause. Take it in and go take it all. Move forward, don't ever stall. Leave what you can and go conquer shores. Revolution slow. Every day we face wars. Go for you and fight yours. Don't let greed decide to go for. Find peace and love with full force. Tunnel vision, decision of thoughts. Do not take your eye off the ball. Man's speaker, come on and make sauce. We're all a sand timer, there's no reverse button. Don't get no pull-ups if you do, the lesson's worth nothing. We all muck up and make mistakes cause evolution's cunning. That's why there's morals in everything, you could learn from it. Go for the summit, prepare to plummet. Think nothing of it, then rise up and rerun it. Cause the best thing about losing is when you win cause you done it. You flipped it cause you love it, and now go to see to make something. Listen, get on your mission. Don't stop moving, no submission. Listen, get on your mission. Don't stop moving, ain't got time for no quitting. Listen, get on your mission. Don't stop moving, no submission. Listen, get on your mission. Don't stop moving, ain't got time for no quitting.
Incoming, more new Unglued. Tune called Original Selector.
Original Selector.
Duppy is appropriately deep, dark and dirty. Oh yes, so incoming. A massive tune from the Forza Horizon 4 soundtrack. It's also named after one of my favourite toys as a kid, Hot Wheels. I did actually prefer Matchbox Superfast, but it doesn't matter, because this tune is a killer. It's by Kings of the Rollers. Let's go there. And this absolutely deserves quite a rare rewind on the podcast. Because that riff at the beginning, right there, I was going to say you can't buy riffs like that, but actually you can, because it's on sale today. But you know what I mean? Now the good thing about the podcast at the moment is that it's situated in the corner of what used to be a gymnasium facing the kitchen. And I can currently see our digital coordinator Gemma doing something slightly suspicious with a bin liner. Are you on rota today, Gemma? Yeah, okay, Gemma's on cleaning rota today. On her own. That's not fair. I thought Nikki, I had a promo, was going to help you today. Okay, she's got some excuse, has she? All right. And I have the privilege of leading the A&R team for Kings of the Rollers, and their album is shaping up really phenomenally, amazingly well. They sent a new tune in today that starts off, it could be a Philip Glass opera, okay? If you don't know what I'm talking about, just listen to one. They're unusual. They usually last about 4 hours as well. This tune doesn't, it just starts off like one. And I want to give a shout out to Daniela Serafimova, who you can reach on Instagram as Bulgarian Goddess. actually flew over last week to spend 2 days with me in the studio. Brand new singer, to me anyway. And we had a brilliant 2 days, very, very inspiring 2 days writing together on 2 tunes for my new album, which ain't coming out for about a year, trust me. But yeah, it was absolutely wicked. One of those moments, and I've had a few recently, where you're in the studio with a brilliant singer who's coming up with brand new ideas, and you just think, yes, this is why I am doing what I do. And we are staying in the vicinity of Forza Horizon, which, if you haven't played it or seen it, it is brilliant because it's got seasons that kind of change while you're playing, and it is set in the United Kingdom, which means that after Brexit you'll still be allowed to play it. All the other games in your collection will probably disappear in a puff of smoke, but Forza Horizon 4 won't. Massive shout out to everyone who was on the Brexit march on Saturday. 700,000 plus. This is Hugh Hardie, Offshore. And I've also got to give a shout out to my MP, Helen Hayes, who's been trying to call me to talk to me about something. I don't know what she wants to talk to me about, but I keep missing her calls. Obviously, being a Member of Parliament, she's a long-time podcast listener. They all listen to it in Parliament and the House of Lords. So yeah, shout to Helen Hayes. And last but by no means least, absolutely enormous shout out to everyone who came down to hospitality in Kiev, in the Ukraine. The weekend before last, it was an absolutely brilliant show. Organised by Alex Sunchase. Yes, Alex. Thank you for looking after us so well. When we do raves or events, or when anyone does raves or events, the DJs tend to get all of the love from the public. Everyone thinks it's all about the DJs. Well, it isn't. Our job's easy. We turn up and we play. MCs have a harder job because they've got to chat for like an hour or 2 hours or 5 hours or whatever. They don't get enough recognition. The promoter has the hardest job of all, and she or he works on the event for months in advance leading up to it, and they are the person who have that feeling like, is anyone going to come to my party? And we've all been there. We've all put parties on and thought, is anyone going to turn up? So massive love and respect to all promoters out there promoting drum and bass parties worldwide. It's not easy. And without you, we would be absolutely nothing. New tune on the Serial Killers label. This is by Leaf. And it's called Air. Took me by surprise this, because I wasn't expecting a kind of throwback to Autonomic vibes on Serial Killers. I like that. I like it when people step outside of their comfort zone. Personal greeting to Lopez, who is now our Chief of Webshop and Merchandise. Simone has now departed. Not obviously literally departed, you know. She's now on a songwriting course at Tile Yard Studios. And it's a degree course, so she's going to hopefully get a degree in songwriting, which is a thing that didn't used to be, but is now. So Simone's following her creative thing, and Lopez, who is from Barcelona via Cardiff, is now our web shop coordinator and merchandise coordinator. And I advise you very, very strongly to follow the Hospital Shop Instagram, because you will start to see special offers of merchandise, music, all sorts of things appear on exclusively the Hospital Shop Instagram channel. They won't appear anywhere else. Maybe in a podcast over the next few weeks, I'm going to get Lopez and give him a little interview. Talk about his life's journey so far. It's very, very interesting. And his whole journey from Barcelona has been guided by drum and bass. He went to Cardiff to be mentored by none other than Dave Droneboy, who runs the Concrete Junglist label. And we are now at the twilight of this podcast. The sun is going down, and there's no better tune to end it with than this. On Blue Martin Music, Akuratyde, this is Without You. got to say I'm quite proud of myself because I've actually conveyed all the information that I was given on the podcast sheet, probably for the first time ever. I don't think I've missed anything out. Just one shout that came in. This is from Johnny Langlois, who says, "Hey Tony, first of all I want to say thank you for the heartfelt birthday shout during the Noisia remix of Camo and Crooked's Ember. Side note, that is my second favourite song of all time. My favourite tune of all time is Meteorites by You. Thank you for making one of the best songs I've ever heard." My own side note on that, I actually don't like Meteorites. I know loads of people do like it, but it's just too cheesy. So you're allowed to think your own music is too cheesy, by the way. It's okay. And Johnny carries on to say, "So, my podcast shout is for my sister Audra, and I've been jamming your back catalogue, and I feel that Dark Matter or Outnumbered might need a remix revival so that the new crew can hear the classics. In my opinion, those are two of your underrated songs." Now, yeah, this Dark Matter, I can definitely hear it being remixed, but Outnumbered, there's a problem there because I'm singing on it and I hate my own voice and I think it sounds terrible. So I don't want that tune to be remixed. It was what it was, and I want to leave it there, where it was. But this Dark Matter is wicked, and it features Leanne Carroll, who is wicked, so it would remix really, really well. So that's a good thought. One day, when I've run out of ideas and I've stopped writing original music, then yeah, we'll do a remix album. I'm going to leave you in the capable hands of Akuratyde and Without You. My name is London Electricity. Thank you for subscribing to the Hospital Podcast. Don't forget, we're now on Spotify. At some point we're going to be on Deezer. We might even be available, I don't know, in Beano or something soon. I don't know, you name it. It's all about spreading the love.